Hello all, welcome to a new video, and today I'm going to be talking you through the three big crashes of the Speedway meeting between the Glasgow Tigers and the Plymouth Gladiators at the track owned by the latter. So yeah, there were three crashes, or no, there were four, but I didn't catch the last one. But it wasn't. It was pretty similar to the one you're about to see now. So there was one for Ben Barker, which we're about to see now in one of the early heats. Then there was the big one with Sam Hagan and Joe Thompson, and then there was another one for one of the Glasgow Tigers. I didn't catch the name of it sadly, but yeah, a lot of drama, and it did cause about an hour-long delay in total in the meetings as the barriers did get damaged and things like that. So yeah, I'm going to take you through how the crashes happened, how they could have been prevented, and how and why the delays were caused. So yeah, first off, we have this one here with Ben Barker. Ben Barker's the one on the very left-hand side of the picture in Gate 4 for the Gladiators, the captain of the Gladiators. And as you can see, he's trying to go around the outside of the white tiger. The tiger himself is trying to go around the outside of the red gladiator. I'm not too sure the name, but they're all scrabbling in. And I think, as you can see, there's a little bit of wheel-to-wheel contact between the pair of them. And this upsets the front tire and means that Ben can't turn the wheel as much. And it puts the front wheel at the wrong angle to be able to hold the slide round turn one. Because turn one, you're trying to scrub off enough speed to make sure you can gain momentum on the exit of turn two without losing grip. But here, the the little bit of contact kind of just sends him out a bit too far, and then he's on the shrapnel and sliding towards the wall. But I'll play it in slow motion in due course. Play it four, as you can see. So initially he gets a pretty decent gate, and the white tiger gets a very decent gate and actually beats Barker into turn one, but Barker is looking just to carry the momentum around the outside to kind of counter that gate. But in doing so, look how much he's tilting the bike compared to the Tiger, and he's at a bit of an odd angle. And the Tiger here, the white Tiger, the white helmet on the Tiger, he's gonna kick the rear end of the bike out to help the slide and help keep the traction of the slide. And Sparker in the blue helmet, Gladiator, blue and yellow, he's gonna try and go around, but as he turns, the the back end of the white tiger, his bike comes out and just clips the front wheel. You can see the little the dust guard, just flapping around. So there was definitely contact there, and this sends Barker into a bit of an off moment, and his why he fell is a combination of the lack of grip on the outside of the shrapnel here on the outside of turn one. It's a bit slippery if you go into too quick, but also the front wheel angle is a bit too sharp, which is giving the instead of being so the bike's like this, instead of being like this where he can just turn but also kind of push the dirt out, he's he's gone too far like that, and the wheel is like this, and yeah, it makes the bike very unstable. And he's just carried way too much speed for the rear end to hold up, and the back wheel is just like, nah, I'm not gonna be able to hold this. Takes him off, and actually, fun fact, he hit the barrier so hard that the canister within his suit came out, and that caused a bit of a delay, sadly. But yeah, oh, that's Danny King in the other Gladiator. I've just realised you can see by the number one, he's the number one rider. Or is it number seven? I can't quite tell. Anyway, if it's number seven, it will be Tom Spencer or Andy Gramek. I can't remember which one it was. But yeah, so that's Ben off. His bike goes a bit flying and actually causes a bit of damage to the bike, so they had to work on it a little bit. Now we come to the big one. the big one, the second crash of 4 in this night, the second crash in this video, with Sam Hagen in the Glasgow Tigers colours in red and white, and then the Gladiator of, I believe, Joe Thompson in front. And this is the battle for third that ended wrong. So as we go through, so these two are battling here. Look, on the right of picture, the two bikes you can see going round, and the guy higher up behind is Sam Hagen, and he's looking to get a run. This corner is very banked compared to turn one. This corner is a really banked corner, and it means that if you go to the top of the exit of turn three, and if you're new to oval and speedway racing, the corners are measured and numbered in 90 degrees. So the first long bend is actually turn one and two, because the first part is turn one, the second part is turn two, and it's the same here. The first part is turn three, and then you get to this middle bit, which becomes turn. Oh no, you get to this middle bit actually. Gets to this middle bit, and that becomes turn four. So as you can see, he's gone to the high side of turn three, and this will give him a good run from the top of turn three, as long as he can straight line it, and he's gonna aim to just get along this white line and just get as close as he can to it for turn one without ruining his line. It's turn one, but he's gonna look to just duck underneath this Gladiator. And he does so. He gets a great run on the exit of turn 4, carries the momentum, and he's now just got to turn into turn 1 and just make sure he's not going to collect. And also, Thompson's got to be careful not to turn in too early as well. So it's a bit of a work from both of them as they head through. So it's very close stuff, this, but it looks like it's going to be a good move. But it looks like Thompson just comes in a bit too early. And like, look, because the Glasgow Tiger is all the way up to the white line at this point. The Gladiator, I think he's trying to duck underneath, but it looks like it's been misjudged by the smallest of margins. You're about to see the contact. They have contact behind that guy, and it's the smallest tap, literally on the, like, a tire to tire contact, not wheel to wheel, not wheel to not wheel to engine, wheel tire to tire, like the small little tire. So they just clip there, but it sends, so it kind of ruins, a bit like with Ben Barker earlier, it sends the wheel into not turning enough, and well, turning too much actually. It sends the front wheel turning too sharp, and that gives him a similar thing to what Ben Barker had. But Sam Hagen, on the other hand, he has what's known as a tank slapper, which is essentially if you get hit by a tank and you're trying to hang on to it, but you're never gonna hang on to it unless you have a big crash. It is a tank slapper. It's a big whack. It's such a big whack that a tank would get destroyed from it. So look, he's sliding. He's trying to hang on to it, and he does. But when he does hang on to it, he's not at turn 2. He's at turn 1, and he's gonna end. He's look where it's pointed him. It's pointed him completely just up to the wall, and then he tries to slide it out. It doesn't work, and he's still on the throttle. There's no brakes on these bikes at all, so it is just scrumming off speed via the slide. He's tried to turn out of it, but in doing so, it looks like he may have accidentally just left the throttle on, and it's resulted in him ricocheting over this wall. It is a massive shunt, and as you can see, the Gladiator there, he doesn't even know what's happened. And at first, like, when they initially made contact, it looked like they were both just. It didn't even look like the red guy was going to even have a crash. The Sam Hagen didn't even look like he was going to have a crash at first. But then he has the overcorrect, the high side almost, that takes him into the wall at turn 2 and leads to what was a vile impact into the wall. I'll play it at full speed just to give you the full velocity of the crash. It is a violent shunt. Ben Barker one. There we go. Let's see, goes to the inside, little bit of contact, tank slapper, bang. And yeah, he was okay. He did have a bit of a limp afterwards, but I think anyone would after that. And surprisingly, it doesn't look like he's picked up any serious injury from it, which is good to see. And yeah, he's. I couldn't tell if he rode again after that or not. Probably not. I wouldn't be surprised if he didn't. But yeah, he was a bit winded after it. You could see him lying down. But yeah, it was a big shunt, and they had to repair both this barrier here, the yellow one that he hit, but also the other one as well. They had to like re-inflate them because, as I said in the previous video, um, the barriers are made similar to the stuff made for bouncy castles. Like they're like inflatable airbag things. So yeah, these two deflated. They had spares, but obviously they don't normally have many spares because this type of crash is very rare. This is the biggest crash the Colosseum has seen all season long so far in 2026. Out of the three heats with Pool Pirates, with Oxford Cheetahs, and this is the biggest crash by far at this track this year so far. And you don't normally have to replace barriers. So yeah, they had to obviously reinflate the barriers. They tried to, but then they had to swap it out. It took a bit of a delay. Then we had another delay for another Glasgow Tiger crash. Not too sure who calls this one. Not too sure the name of it, but it's the yellow helmet on the red and white overalls for the Glasgow Tiger. And as you can see in a minute, should have probably made the clip longer. So as you can see, look, yeah, I should definitely have made this longer, but the red here, he's gone a bit too tight round turn one on the exit of turn one. He's gone a bit too tight, and look, you can see that front wheel is on the grass, or it's about look, it goes over the grass. My camera goes up a bit, and when he goes over the grass, he has a similar thing to what Sam Hagen had, a bit of a tank slapper. Almost a high side, but because it's dirt, it's very rare to have a high side because in road racing, the road is a lot more grippy. So, what's known as a high side is what would be known as like a snap of oversteer in car racing. And but because obviously it's two wheels, the wheels don't just do that; they go whoa what, and yeah, it's not exactly the best thing ever. But yeah, so he has a bit of a snap, and as he corrects it, he's correcting, but he's just already gone at this point. But yeah, the grass really just unsettled the bike on that one, and it is impossible to hang onto a bike, especially at that speed. But yeah, I was surprised that it was the yellow. At first, I was surprised it was the yellow Gladiator who went off in that situation because they were all going around like this. Look, it's quite hard to see actually. I'll bring up another video of it if I can. But yeah, it was a very odd, very big incident. Have I got another video of it? I do not, but yeah. So he kind of clipped the grass with his front wheel, and then it just sent him off in a completely wrong way into a bad shunt. But yeah, and then there was another one for Ben Barker at that's a bit similar to the one he had here, just carrying too much speed, and the rear of the bike just goes out on him and sends him into the wall. It's very similar to this one, just under night lights rather than the daylight, and a bit more over here. But yeah, so yeah, hectic stuff. I have to say so myself. That's all the crashes from Glasgow Tigers and Plymouth Gladiators at the Colosseum. And if you're thinking, oh, that was quite hectic, it was. I was doing some interviews with some people afterwards after the Sam Hagen crash, the big one, and you'll see in a minute what they had to say about it at the end of the video. But yeah, there was, obviously he got up, and a big shout out to the medics who were on the scene very quickly, and big shout out to the people as well who helped fix the barrier and things like that as well. Without them, we couldn't have got restarted. So yeah, very very big, well done to them. And yeah, and it was very chaotic. I don't know what it was about this meeting because, like I said, like the only crashes so far had been similar to the Ben Barker one, or and not really like the ones for the Glasgow Tigers. Like the Ben Barker one was just a slide, and it's been like that for most of the season. We had Oxford Cheetahs that meeting. We had, I believe, Tom Spencer or Joe Thompson. I could be wrong, but at turn four, there was a slide for one of them, and then we had some for Paul as well. One of the Paul riders ended up in the wall at turn two, just with a similar slide to Barker, but they've all just been like little snaps of oversteer, carrying too much speed round on the rear wheel of the bike, and not being able to scrub enough speed off, so they just slide into the wall. But we haven't really had any big shunts like that this season. At this track specifically, obviously we had the one with Tobias at Poole, which was a huge one, and great to see that Tobias, although he's not fully recovered, he is doing better than he was, which is amazing to see. So yeah, just hoping that Tobias comes back soon and helps us, get some more points over Paul next time. So, yeah, hopefully he can do well and actually actually be able to finish a heat for us. Because the thing is with Tobias as well, it was the first heat of his first race for Plymouth Gladiators. So it's a shame that he hasn't really been able to do anything with us because of that crash with Richard Lawson at Poole into turn three, I believe. But yeah. So that's it for now then. That was the three hectic crashes of the Plymouth Gladiators versus Glasgow Tigers. Thank you all for watching, and goodbye. Wow, that's a huge jump. And also, big props to Sam Hagen for just being able to get up and walk away from that. That was that was gladiator, no, not gladiator, trooper stuff. I have to say, he is a strong trooper for that one. And yeah, thank you ever so much for watching. Thank you to the Speedway for having me again. And goodbye.